Hello and welcome to Chat G&G. He's Grizz. That way even? Yeah, well, we've gone the wrong way there, Grizz. Great start for us, but
It's like one of those, when you're drunk.
your
right,
eyes,
night.
your
Yeah.
eyes are closed. That's why.
That's Gags. That's Grizz. Great start. Finger
How you
pointing
doing, brother?
everywhere. Falling over the place.
It's been a couple of weeks, huh? How's it
You
going?
know what it is? Shall I be honest with you?
Hmm.
Like I was telling you, I was having one of those, late siestas, when the sun's going down.
Yeah,
And I don't even know if it's going down. I had to look outside to see if it's going down. But when it's like sort of a little bit cooler than it has been, that sleep is the best sleep in the world. So I was just having that sleep before you rudely interrupted and said, what's the agenda?
exactly. What is the agenda today? We're going to talk whole summer transfers today, and I think there's only one place to start, really, Grizz. Apart from, are you well? Everything going good? Things like that.
Yeah, formalities. Are you well?
Very good. Very good.
Good.
I'm very excited about the summer. I'm very excited about the rest of the transfer window for Liverpool. So I guess that's what we're going to get into. Let's first and foremost talk about the man that joined this week. Kerkez is a red.
Yeah,
So
shocking, eh? The surprise of the summer. The surprise of the summer.
what a major surprise. Absolute crazy one.
No one saw that one coming, right?
Nope,
No one saw
not
that
at all.
coming. He's quite a character. Now, I don't know where you stand with this, right? And you're going to say, here we go. Let the kid. I know your opinion already, but I'm just going to test the waters anyway. I'm already finding him a little bit annoying. Now, people can say, what the hell? But the whole circus around his dad and everything else, right? Get on that pitch. You're a young lad. Focus on the task in hand. You have been brought in to replace one of the most professional, brilliant Premier League fullbacks in history, in Andrew Robertson. Don't act like Albie Moreno. Because, even though we talked about stylistically, he's got a little bit of Albie Moreno in him, right? Don't act the clown from the off and all this, But look, maybe I'm getting a bit, give him his time. He's only 21 years old. Fantastic athlete, quick, lightning, and we needed that. We needed pace. We needed someone who's got abundance of pace. And let's see how he gets on. I just don't want to circus around him with him and his dad. This narrative, this agenda is already kind of being built now.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not annoyed. I think, like you said, 21-year-old. I have a 20-year-old at home as well. And if something life changes happens for a 21-year-old, I know, same as, when I was 21, you get overexcited a little bit. And I think they've just hit the jackpot as well, Grizz, joining the champions of England. And I think the dad's going to be a bit overexcited and going a bit crazy.
No, I get it.
I actually love the overexcitement. I would behave in the same way. So it's nice to know that you're going to be, well, actually, you have been very horrible to me on Instagram when I've been overexcited about Liverpool in my shirts. So you are treating Kerkez the same as you would. Listen, you're treating Kerkez the same way you treat me. So it's fine. At least you're consistent. I'm giving you the respect that at least you're consistent in how you treat people that get over.
Can we have some context? So Gags has been doing this annoying thing on Instagram.
See what I mean?
Even as a red, no. I love it really. I just thought, when are you gonna run out of t-shirts? I mean, I'll let you tell the people what you was doing on Instagram.
I'm on Instagram, Gag and Tandon, and basically what I did since we won the league, since we beat Tottenham, I literally wore a Liverpool shirt, a different Liverpool shirt as well, Grizz. As you can be my different Liverpool shirt for 56 or 57 or 2 months basically, every single day, and then made a collage of it right at the end, and it was just basically different songs being played in my stories.
Brilliant.
And stuff like that. It was just basically, I've got a lot of Man United fans that follow me from work and from previous jobs, and and Arsenal fans and Spurs fans, and then my family, who's most of it is in Manchester and London. So them seeing that and believe me, I was getting abused in my in my, not in public
I can
though,
well
but in my
imagine.
DMs
I can well
every day.
imagine.
But that was the whole point. I was hearing from people, Grizz, that I probably don't get to hear from on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And because of the pictures, I was getting engagement privately, and they were like, and then it would lead to some other combos about how you're doing, what's happening in life, whatever. So it was actually a quite nice thing for me in the end that even though I was trying to annoy people, it became a way of keeping in touch with people. And so the power of just engaging and being yourself
Of
and being
course, of course,
annoying
of course, of course.
leads to something else. And
Of
so,
course it does.
yeah, I love everything. Let's go back to Kerkez. I love everything about this. I love that he's excited. I love that he's a Man United fan and he's joined Liverpool and he's totally turned on him. You know, apparently it was a
His
Man
family,
United
yeah,
supporting
his family.
family.
Someone's mentioned that. Pakanuka says, rather have a character who's overexcited than cold and workmanlike.
Have you got an example of the cold and workmanlike?
Robertson. Well, no. He's not. But he started off.
Not as excitable as this guy, but he's
Okay.
actually behind the scenes.
Okay, this is my point.
Like,
Okay. Let me elaborate.
Hmm.
Robertson, when he came in, did we hear a whimper from him? We didn't. He was very workmanlike. He didn't even get into the team. You know, who was he behind when he first came? Moreno, wasn't it? It was Moreno who was the fullback. So Robertson works his way into the lineup, becomes this legend, and then his character and personality come out, right? All I'm saying, guys, people in the chat, I'm not being a bitter old man. I'm just saying, work your way into the team. Show us what you're made of in terms of on the pitch, your attitude, your desire to win games of football for us, first and foremost. You're a learner, you're humble, and then your character will naturally come out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just think the circus and his dad and his playing ole ole ole, and then they're making it about. Look, it's fine. It's fine. He is a character. He is excited. I get what you're saying as well. He's naturally enjoying being at the biggest club in the world. So look, we'll give it a shot.
Got his shirt. You know, when he actually did the whole thing, when he got his shirt and he did the signing, apparently he flew home in the same shirt. Wore it the next day as well when they did the pool party and everything. It's adorable, man. Like I love seeing someone very happy and very excited.
No, of course, we love it. Yeah,
you know,
it's a great feeling.
He respected Robbo a lot on his video. That, you know, I've grown up watching.
It was. I love the bit. So,
you know,
so this is what I wanted to add after the criticism, because I have to have a balance, and I like to think I'm a balanced individual. I love that part. That actually brought a nice feeling of warmth in my heart. The way he said, Robertson, I respect Robertson. He's been the best fullback in the, and be amazing experience to play with him and learn from him. I love that, which I kind of guess leads us into the sort of the Robertson conversation. By the way, it's me, Everest. Hi, it's me, Everest. It's me, Gags and Grizz here. Big up everyone. Like the stream for Grizz Uncle. He's right. He's not wrong. Whoever's locked in, like the stream right now, please. Pretty please. Yeah, I mean, I do. I love everything about this signing. The price, the way he's excited, the way he's gonna, the way I've got this vision of him, the way he's gonna play in this team. Did you notice a bit of lack of pace last season? We won the league, so we're nitpicking here, right? But there's always areas of improvement. There's always areas of improvement, and one of the areas was pace and dynamism throughout the team.
I completely agree. I think the additions of Frimpong and Kerkez are going to add way more pace down around the wings for us, and also the fact that they're going to underlap as well. Like, you know, I think Robbo and Trent, especially Trent, I think a lot of the time started to just stay back and wanted to come in field. I think Pep Linda's ruined Trent a little bit, where he just got into his head about he have to come inside all the time, you know, come on the inside, and we kind of missed that. So I think when Bradley plays, you see him trying to peg round Mo all the time, and now I think we're going to get that with Frimpong as well. And then on the other side, again, Robbo was not going forward as much, was he? So I think with with Kerkez, we're going to have someone who's just going to attack.
We've probably suddenly got from well, I want to say Trent was slow, but from one of the slowest pairs of fullbacks in terms of Robertson, Simicas, and Trent, a trio of slow fullbacks, to probably the two quickest fullbacks in European football, I'd say, or at least on a par with anyone. I mean, people mention
we're fairly quick when they first came in, but yeah, you're saying it's just died down a bit, hasn't it?
Of course, and especially the style that Klopp installed in Liverpool. Robertson mileage in his legs. I dread to think how many sprints he's done. That's one for your stats show. I dread to think how many sprints Robertson's done in his Liverpool career. It must be record-breaking number of sprints, and it does take out of you. And what we know about Frimpong, and most certainly about Kerkez, because we probably watch him more because he's in the Premier League, is he does love his sprints. He is in the mold of that Robertson, overlapping, energetic, pressing from the get-go. I just want to see if he's got the composure when defending. I don't want him to be a lasher out. Do you know what I mean by that, guys? Like a lasher out in defense, giving the penalties, free kicks away, not being composed. Like what did someone say here? Where was it? At least act like, where was it? Look, like selection says, Kerkez needs to act like he's been here before. At least act a little cool, man. No composure. That's fine, except on the pitch. He needs to have composure on the field pitch. Because if he shows the same excitable nature on the pitch, that could be slightly problematic. Do you know what I mean?
Well, when he played for Bournemouth, you could see a lot of him always very much pumped up and pump into the crowd. And so I think it translates from excitement into passion on the pitch. And he's someone who's focused and driven. So what I've seen of him whenever I've watched him, or even if I see clips now and I go watch back with all the scouting that you can see on YouTube and stuff, which isn't really the best way to do it. But what you see is someone who's fast driven, wants to get in there. So, and when he's in there, like that testosterone starts to go, when you're in the heat of the battle, and you can see he's one of those that wears his heart on his sleeve. So I'm very, very excited. This is, I think, the best left back in the league has just joined us. So, I can't get any better than that. 40 million. We were worried about the price. It's not bad in the end.
No, it's a fantastic price. Hey, listen, come on. We've just talked about having the most quickest, paciest, and good on the ball, technically good, both of them. Pair of young fullbacks, Gags. Guys, people, Reds, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call succession planning, future proofing for the next 4 or 5 years. Like between them, look at the profile, look at the ages, and look at the endeavor they're showing already to be here, the happiness and joy on their faces. I think it's been a fantastic pair of signings. Nicky says he brings us some stats. He says Kerkez most overlapping runs and second most underlapping runs in the Premier League season last season. That is brilliant. And that's exactly what we were alluding to, right? That's what we need. Ali says the fans will love him. I definitely think that. The fans will absolutely love him. He's going to become a hero very quick. And you're right. How Robertson used to get the crowd going is, do you remember, we all remember the famous Man City where he chased the whole team down, every single one of them, and he got the atmosphere going. I think Kerkez is going to be one of those ones where he's going to get the crowd really up and at him type thing. So
we were asking for freshness, weren't we? I think at the end of the day, this is exactly what we've got. I'm really chuffed. Honestly, so far 3. It's not 3 anymore because we're going to switch from Kerkez. If you've got anything else on Kerkez, it's not 3
anymore. Kerkez, we've spoken about enough Kerkez. Kerkez is now, and you've spoken enough Kerkez, and your dad's definitely spoken enough. Now it's time to put the words into action.
Now it's another goalie. You must have heard the news earlier.
Yep.
As WD Red has said, Freddie Woodman, homegrown slot, good decision. I know this wasn't on the agenda. I saw that comment. I thought we better put it on there very quick. So this counts as a transfer for me, Grizz. Sorry to say,
No, you're not doing that.
Hey, you didn't see it coming. It's a free transfer. It's going into the squad for the 7.
Such a cheeky shit.
So that's 4. 3 more to go.
You're such a cheeky shit.
How many can we get? 3 more? You think we get a Guehi, a striker, and maybe a winger? I think we just might get 7, my brother.
No, people, Gags cannot get away with that one.
Oh,
But he
we
said,
can.
people, the pretext, people, the context behind it. He said 7. I said 5. I said 4 or 5. He said 6, 7 players. Or did he say 7, 8? Be honest.
I just said 7.
Oh, he said 7. I said 5
Mm.
signings
Mm.
before the start of the window, and he's claiming this one as a signing.
You're lucky
Technically, his
I haven't put Pesky in, mate, as well. That would have been.
no, shut up.
I'm joking. I said you're lucky I haven't. I said,
People, does he
you're
get
lucky.
away with this one?
You're a young kid as well. There's a
But
young
it
kid
makes all the
doing it.
sense. It makes all the sense. Free, I believe, and no issues, no dramas. So many other clubs have got sort of experienced English or homegrown keepers as their third choice. Yeah, Jumpy, he clearly wants Gags to win this bet.
John P. Is it me or does Gags look like a bit like a man who shows up when a crime boss calls in a fixer? Like, really?
Really? You're a fixer, are you? Okay, you never tell me that.
Trying to fix
Yeah,
the
like
transfer.
Daniel says, our very own Scott Carson. Man City done the same thing with Scott Carson. Did Arsenal have someone experienced as well? I remember in recent times. We know Man United had someone in recent times, didn't they? They had that Heaton, did they?
Yeah,
Or there was or someone else as well before that as well. So yeah, we know that it's just something for the would you say for the administrative side of things?
perfect. One thing I didn't know, I've never heard of this guy before. Let me be honest. I never ever heard of him. Never ever.
Oh,
This
I have.
early.
I've heard of
No,
him.
I'm not. And but from what I'm reading and what I'm hearing is that he's not a bad goalkeeper at all. Like he's decent for a freebie.
Yeah, I just seen our very good friend Dave Hendricks tweet, who's suggesting that he's quite a good keeper. He's a very good keeper in terms of
So
a couple of years ago he had huge potential. Obviously, hasn't fulfilled that, but
hmm.
the experience and talent is there. He suggests. Who am I to
So
argue with Dave
I'm
Hendrick? I mean, I would never argue with Dave Hendrick, would I?
no, I don't think anybody would. If you want to be called names, but basically, I would. I'm just very, yeah. Again, I'm very pleased that we're trying to cover that. It just, you know what this window's all about, and this signing is like so tactical, so strategic. Um, it's just amazing. It's just a real good. You know what we've always said. When are we going to behave like a big club? When are we going to behave like what we need to do in
Like
the
the
winter?
biggest club in this country,
Yeah. When are we going
basically.
to do that? So
But can I
yeah.
ask something about that, Gags? Can I
Hmm,
get your opinion, people? And
yeah.
people, let me know in the chat. I think that's a very good point and you raise, and you have asked that question, and everyone has. When are we going to act like the biggest club in the world? Now, I don't want to bring it back to Klopp, but it's chat G&G, and we chat about all things Liverpool. And of course, Klopp may not be here, but he's still part of Liverpool, and it's coincide and it sort of goes into the slot era as well now, right? Do you think Klopp didn't help or aid us acting like the biggest club in the world with the way he always played the underdog card,
Yes.
and he
Yes.
liked us being,
The
you
underdog.
know, the underdogs? Whereas Slot has come in, and even do you remember in his interviews, or do you remember when he's talking about his philosophy? He talks about domination.
Hmm.
I want to dominate. We're a big club. It's good. It's the least we can do, win the league or challenge for the league. Straight away his ambition was up here. He didn't downplay anything. He was like, to be at Liverpool Football Club, you have to be the best player in the world in your position. Look at Mohamed Salah. That's the aspirations. That's the levels that we're looking to reach. Don't you think he's helped kind of bring about this act like who we are?
I would say, without thinking about it, I'd say you're right. But when I think about it, we did go in a window and spend, or between two windows, and go and spend 70 million on Van Dijk and 70 million on um um Allison. I know we're going to say it was the Coutinho money, but then we did spend on Shaqiri that window as well. We did then spend before that on Mo and Mane and all these things. So constantly spending 30, 40, 60, 70, 80 million a year. And at that time, remember the Premier League, you weren't making this much money. You weren't making 180 million a year. You were making half of that maybe, or 100 million a year. So um I don't think he was a blocker. I think also what's the timing, why the timing's really, and I did think he was a blocker, by the way. I've changed my thinking on this because of the facts. Now, one of the facts is that this summer we don't have any transfer debt. What transfer debt, guys, is when you buy a player like Florian Wirtz, you're going to be paying that off in 5 years, right? You'll have to pay 15, 20 million a year, whatever. Now, if you buy 4 or 5 of those players, so if we buy, say, a £100 million striker, you're paying 40, 50 million a year in just installments, right? So that's your transfer debt every year. We're not going to probably make those big signings next year, maybe, or this year after. It'll be like 2, 3 years later that we do another big splurge. Liverpool is very smart in a way that if they've got that debt, then they won't be doing stupid things in the market. But because the debt's so low right now, they can spend a window and go boom. I think the timing, Grizz, is what's made this feel like that way. Um, I did feel maybe Klopp was blocking a little bit, but the fact that we were going to spend 115 million on Caicedo blows that a bit out of the water.
Yeah, I
You
get
know,
it.
so
Yeah,
I
I
was
get it.
wrong as well. I will admit I was wrong. I think I did say that before. So I think it's the transfer debt, if I'm honest. And Liverpool are behaving in this way because they can, and the timing's great. And we won the league, and we were in the Champions League again, so we got 60, 70 or whatever million it was at the quarters. So we were just, I think the timing is
Due.
perfect.
It was
Yeah,
due. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree with you. It is a. I agree with you. It's a combination of events and situations.
Mm,
But there is a part of me, and I spoke about it quite a few times on when I used to do shows on my own channel. It's got cobwebs on it. I used to often talk about sort of Klopp being not only me. Everyone knows about his loyalty to certain players, and if that
mm,
loyalty
yeah.
sometimes held the club back in terms of succession planning. You know, he'd rather keep hold of his boys than plan ahead and be cold
That
and ruthless.
I will agree with 100%. The Hendo stuff, giving him a new contract. He actually
And no,
fought with
all of them,
he
all of
fought
them.
with Edwards to do that. Edwards left on the back of multiple of those things happening. Um, that was his kryptonite, I'd say. It's actually something Dave says. It was like his strength and his weakness in one go.
Yeah,
Because
but it
he's
often
good
is.
to be. It's good to be that way.
But look, and before people jump on our necks and say, "Oh, here we go, Klopp bashing," no, no,
No,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no,
We're
absolutely not.
here because of Klopp. We're here. We're in this
We
position because of Klopp. That's
Absolutely, because he built this legacy in order for us to be flourishing now, like we are, and flexing like we are. So he built this foundation to to become a juggernaut once again, and so therefore we're allowed to build on that now because of Jurgen Klopp. But no manager is perfect, no philosophy is perfect, no working process is perfect, and there was a couple of flaws. But talking about
before
nothing's always perfect. Go on.
yeah, Klopp.
I had a brilliant segue. You've ruined my absolute perfect segue.
Sorry, I had to say this though. If we continue to be successful now in this new era, we will always look back on Klopp like we did Shankly
For
for the
sure,
Bob Paisley stuff.
for
So
sure.
no one will ever disrespect. It's not bad to pick out negative parts and positive parts out of what's happened in the past. It's okay. Like just because we're speaking something that we agreed with or we didn't think was good in a manager doesn't mean we hated him. It doesn't mean that he was bad. He was the best thing that happened to us. And he built us into this machine, what we are now. FSG did a great job in bringing him in. They were the first 2 or 3 years. They were like, they fit like a glove. It was perfect, and then it went a little bit haywire. But still, they still managed to go and get the midfield that we got now, right? Even though the recruitment was bad, they still went and got Dom and Mac and Grav, and they turned out to be amazing for slot as well. So we have a lot to thank him for, and we should. But I don't think anybody should mean that he's a god, and we should never say anything bad about him. There were bits that weren't right, and there were bits that did
Well,
go
he
sour in that and at
wait,
the end,
wait,
So
he of- he often spoke himself about, "I don't know everything. I'm not
hmm,
perfect. I don't know some things." And he surrounded himself with people that he trusted, and relied upon. So yeah, look, he admits to not getting everything right, and that's fine. But anyway,
your segue, go on.
well, it's not going to have the same effect now, but I'll try. We're talking about success, structure, being brilliant, the start of the transfer window. Everything is rosy. We've got 4 players in, if you want to count the new bloody 3rd choice keeper, right? Bloody hell, you're clinging on here. I thought you're confident of 7. Now, why are you suddenly?
I'm still confident of 7.
Well, yeah, but now you are, because now you're counting bloody 5th choice keepers. For God's sake. Of course you're confident now. But anyway, you were sweating a little bit before that. But anyway, not everything always goes smoothly. It's part and parcel of life as a football fan, as a process, as recruiters, as everything, management, everything else.